pleasure of meeting our first honoree, Bonnie Addario, through charity work about 4 years ago in the name of lung cancer. We were following the story of a woman named Zheng Chao, an opera singer in San Francisco who just passed away, who had lung cancer. So I had the pleasure of meeting Bonnie through that sad and difficult time, and yet uplifting at the same time. So she is a local girl who really made good. The story goes on, though. She's also a local woman who did good, and a lot of it, for countless thousands of others. 28 years ago, she started out as a secretary and administrative assistant at Olympian Oil Company in South San Francisco. Think about that time. 28 years ago, those of us who've been around for a while, and what that was like with male-dominated businesses. So Bonnie's a tough cookie, and she'll tell you a little bit about that. She rose to be its president and owner. She then went on to become the first female president of the California Industrial Oil Marketers, so those are a couple of very remarkable achievements. And the story goes on. 10 years ago, Bonnie discovered she had lung cancer herself. This horrific development changed the course of her life. She read an article about a partnership between Sequoia Hospital in Redwood City and UCSF here in San Francisco. So she contacted Dr. Melissa Lim, who immediately launched Bonnie into a new medical partnership with Dr. David Joblins of UCSF. Now, according to Dr. Lim, Bonnie was a golden example of how collaboration works. Today, Bonnie is a lung cancer survivor. Many years later. And she has taken a leadership role by founding the Bonnie J. Addario Lung Cancer Foundation. It has raised millions and millions of dollars for research, prevention, and treatment of lung cancer. So it gives me great pleasure and pride to introduce my friend Bonnie Addario.
Well, she said 3 minutes. She whispered it in my ear. I promise I'll be good. Before I start and say anything, I want to give a big shout out to the Women's League of Voters, because without them, my daughters, or who are here tonight, would have never had the opportunities to be as successful as they are today. I take a little credit for that, but 100 years ago, these amazing women opened doors for us that we are forever grateful for. How much of that time did that take, Cheryl? What have I got left? Does that count for my 3 minutes? Okay. I am a very grateful survivor. 2% of lung cancer patients diagnosed survive this disease. In the United States, 220 people are diagnosed, 220,000 people are diagnosed every year, and only 15% survive. I'm going to ask you a question, because this is going to do a little Q&A so I can kind of get my message out without making a big speech. If you'll raise your hand and let me know if you know this, in 1987, lung cancer surpassed breast cancer as the biggest cancer killer of women. Raise your hands if you know that. 1, 2, that's the CEO of our foundation. He didn't know it 5 years ago. Okay, so that's part of the problem. If you think smoking is the major cause of lung cancer, raise your hand. See, there's a huge imbalance here in the room. Actually, 80%, nearly 80% of all the people today diagnosed with lung cancer have either never smoked or quit smoking decades ago. Okay? That's a big issue. And I have to share with you, well, 1 in every 3 cancer diagnoses is lung cancer. It's a very silent disease. You know, you can't check your lungs for lumps because they're kind of buried in there. The lungs are so large that tumors can do a lot of damage in there before you become symptomatic. If I'm not doing my job, if I don't have you leave here tonight knowing that anyone can get lung cancer. The reason I'm here tonight is my friend Natalia. Where are you? This darling little girl back here in this strapless dress. We have a subsidiary in our foundation called Jill's Legacy. And about 3 years ago, in 2010, this most amazing and adorable young woman was the coxswain for the Cal Berkeley crew team. Just adorable. 21 years old, diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. She was amazing, absolutely amazing. She coxed to 2 weeks, I think it was about 2 weeks before she died. She died when she was 22 years old. We started Jill's legacy in her honor because anyone can get lung cancer. And sadly, people even asked Jill, do you smoke? Really, when she's coxing, she's probably out there with a cigarette. The truth of the matter is, smoking is a cause of all cancer, not just lung. The American Lung Association has done a great job making smokers all look like losers, and we never want to be thought of as, defending smoking, because we're not. We believe smoking is a bad actor. But we do have a problem with lung cancer being the only disease that has been singled out as a smoking disease. If you do your homework, you can go out there and find that smoking is listed as a cause of all cancer. It's also a major cause of heart disease. It's a major cause of vascular disease and many other diseases. So we need to get rid of that. And we're really going to be launching a huge awareness campaign here shortly. I think I'm probably running out of time. So take that information with you. It's very important. And just know that my goal is that the beginning of End Cancer is going to happen right here in San Francisco.